Okay, we're live. Hey everyone, I'm Peter Alwood with goodblogs.com, here with Andrew Nonberg, the guy with the last name that's hard to say and spell, our growth guy here at Good Blogs. And I just want to go on a quick positive rant on how not to be the annoying relative named Frank, I call it. Okay, and so essentially, and I know that all of you have run into this at some time or another, where you have a relative or a friend, you never hear from this person, right? Except for when they need something. And so you go months and months and months without emails or phone calls, and all of a sudden they're your best friend, and they're emailing or calling you, and they're not even shy about asking you for something, right? So they're not even going to lead in with any of the pleasantries. There's really just a, hey, how's it going? Hey, can you help me with this, right? And so as a person and as a business, you don't want to be that person, right? Like you don't want to be perceived as this annoying relative or friend that just there and in this person's face or in your client's face only when you need something, right? And so how do you avoid that? Like how do you keep from not being that person? How do you keep from not being Frank, right? And so for me, the way that you would do that is to continually provide information without asking for anything in return, right? So that could be emails with helpful information. It could be phone calls, just asking for asking questions on how you can help, anything like that, so that you are not perceived as this person that's always taken, right? You have this reciprocal relationship with your user base, and whether that's a list of email subscribers, or it's your prospects or your clients or whatever the case may be, it should be this relationship. And that sounds like really basic, right? But clearly there's a lot of people that just don't get it, right? And you don't want to be one of those folks. And so if you want somebody to do, to make an action, whether it's a download or whether it's an opt-in or it's a purchase or whatever the case may be, you want that to be 7, 10, 20 steps down the road and not that initial email or interaction, right? And then you want to continually provide information in between those asks so that it's a two-way street. They're interacting with you. You're creating a relationship so that they want to do something for you. So when you ask, they're ready to do something for you, right? And so don't be Frank. That's all I've got.
Awesome. That's funny. Peter and I were talking a little bit earlier. I've kind of become on the receiving end of this. Unfortunately, I've kind of become known as that guy, I guess. And I guess I'd ask you, Peter, what would you recommend in like not business related, more personal, but in my group of friends or constituents that I've met through mentor groups or first or second or third hand, I guess. A particular individual has, it's kind of known that I will say yes, so he just repeatedly asks me to do certain things for him. Like I said, not really much of a rapport. He just out of the blue, once or twice a month will just say, hey, look, can you help me with this? And whether I have the time or not, I guess I just say yeah. And how do I combat that, I guess, other than not be that guy? But now that I am that guy, where do I go from here?
Stop being that guy, man, right? Like, stop being that guy. And that's easier said than done, and you don't want to piss people off, and then, depending on your nature, you may just really want to be helpful all the time. But I think one way, and this is like maybe going back to some parenting skills, right, in that you don't always want to have the answer, right? And so you want him, if it's a dude or a lady, whatever, I mean, you want them to be able to learn on their own. And so you stop saying yes, right? Or you have some pushback when they ask a question. You ask a question back and say, hey, how would you figure this out? And then that way, the next time that they go to ask you a question, they think, well, Andrew, he really wanted me to think about the last question through on my own. I'm going to try to do that first before I go to him. And then he can lead himself to a conclusion, right? Hopefully, more times than not.
Sure. Yeah.
And then, I like the idea of a favor bank, like this idea where it's a reciprocal relationship, and you want this person to feel like, wow, I've really been dipping in this favor bank a lot. I need to be adding some value to Andrew too, right? And there's a lot of thought out that mentorship really has become this two-way street, right? So even though I may be perceived at this level and my mentor's at this level, each person has something to add, right? So it's a level playing field, and the mentor-mentee relationship is kind of switched now, where it's like, I'm going to ask for a favor or questions or feedback from my mentor, but then also he's likely to come to me, and I want to be able to be helpful with him too. So
Not all take. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you don't want to be a taker. So, and I do want to end this this rant with an app recommendation, right? So a lot of you maybe have already heard of IFT, IFTTT, if this then that, what it stands for. I've been using it for a long time. I feel like a lot of people already know about it. Andrew, you use it?
No, never heard of it.
What?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So I'll give you a very, very simple example of how this thing is freaking awesome, right? And this is very simple. This gets way deeper. But so we're looking
leave
for
it simple for my simple mind, please.
What's that?
I said leave it simple for my simple mind, please.
Okay, I'll keep it very simple. So if you're looking for something, like say it's on Craigslist, right? Here's my real life example. I look for something on Craigslist, and I search all the cities around me because we live in a small town, and I inevitably find exactly what I want, awesome price, contacted the seller, oh, it's already sold, right? They haven't taken it down yet. It happens over and over and over again. And plus, I don't want to be trolling all these different Craigslist cities all the damn time, right? I don't have time for it. So I put in my query in here, and as soon, within an hour or so of that item being posted that matches my search query, I get a push notification. I look at it, it's exactly what I want, I contact the buyer, it's mine. I've done it like 3 times in the last 6 weeks. It's freaking amazing, right? And all I can think of is that the people on the receiving end is like, how the hell this guy, he might post so damn fast, he must be living on here. And guess what? I'm not. It's living in there. So just some, if you haven't heard about it, freaking try it out. It's awesome.
All right.
Download it. Don't be Frank. Everybody have a good weekend.
Later.